What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. As my co-host, my daughter is coming over here. Excuse the mess on her shirt. I hope you guys are having a wonderful. What's today? Lord, I don't even know the day. Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. I just wanted to do a quick video. I try to do them like every other day. There's a lot of topics that are being talked about today on other podcasts that I'm going to pay attention to. Don't know how long they're going to be there, but we're going to go over our topic. I hope everything is going great for y'all. That is my daughter with this little juice that I'm about to just throw because she does this all the time. Um, Time to let you guys know what I got going on right now. Um, July 23rd. What's going on, Jamie? Shout out to you. July 23rd, Runaway Train. Now that's wrestling, Appleton, Wisconsin. Doors open at 4. Show starts at 5. There's a flea market from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Going to be a great show if you're in the Wisconsin area or if you just want to watch some great wrestling, man. I'm telling you, that drive is worth it. They're 3 hours and 30 minutes away from my house, but they're family and they cool. Everything is a great environment. The fans are great and everything like that. So shout out to Wisconsin. My match was announced last weekend. What's going on, Dave? Good to hear from you. It's going to be Kodiak versus myself. If you guys do not know, this is what happened in the last match. So hopefully I'll see you guys and hope you guys see me get retribution because we don't play that around here. So check this out real quick.
Boo! Boo!
Yeah, so that's what happened. So July 23rd, I am going to get a Adriana fur off of the back of this man. But yeah, also like I have to drop a flyer. I'm going to drop a flyer later today. The official flyer for Kingdom Come for Crown Point. We're at On the Square Sports Academy. We are 105th North Court Street, Crown Point, Indiana. Doors open at 7, showtime at 7:30. This is a later time. We have tickets for sale on Eventbrite now. So you guys can get your tickets early or you can get them at the door. It doesn't matter. Just as long as you guys show up. Let's pack the place. Let's show Crown Point what true general wrestling is. So I'm excited about that. Also, in the northwestern Indiana area, we are doing birthday parties now. So if you guys want to do a birthday party for your child or do something for back to school or do some kind of program or some get together, wrestling groups, fans and everything like that, contact me with my phone number, the 832-279-0290 or my email, docchris425@aol.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the channels and everything like that. Let's do something. Be a sponsor for this next show. Be a sponsor for Kingdom Come. We already have Limelight Entertainment Studios. These guys have been sponsors with us for about a little over 2 years now. We always talk about faith and Christ and everything like that, and also the hard work that we have to do to put out this product. So, shout out to them and everything that they do. As far as my other socials, make sure besides Facebook, NatureBoy1989 on Twitter. I'm going to try to be more on Twitter more often. PayPal, that was 4 tickets. You can buy tickets through PayPal me/I am classic as well, but you can also do it at Eventbrite. After all, that's all the shout outs I have for today. Oh no, I don't. Yellow Pill Coffee Company, subscribe to him, Kevin Young Sr. He's the host for the show. Make sure you guys subscribe to him and everything that he does. He went on live for 5 hours today. Man, that's a long time to go on live. Hey man, I'm probably do that one day. Also, about a week and a half ago, I was on the Heels for Life podcast. Shout out to Chris and everything that they do over there. We talked about wrestling. They have a They have a show they're doing, I believe, right now or in a few minutes and stuff like that. So if you guys aren't listening to me and you're listening to them, that's cool, man, because they have a lot of things to say. So shout out to everything that they do. And thank you for giving me the opportunity. Now, we're going to talk about the topic of today. Now, with wrestling, matter of fact, let me show y'all the venue real quick. I'm gonna show you guys the venue of I'm gonna show them the venue. I'm gonna show them the venue of where we're at. I'm gonna show pictures and everything like that. I wanna show them what we have and stuff like that. So let me show this to you guys real quick, if you don't mind. All right, here we go. All right, this is where we're at. July 30th. You can see the front of it. There's like a little stage for certain things. General area is this main area here. I'm gonna see if I can find a more empty spot. But I'm excited. I'm very excited for the show. Don't know if is it showing. I don't think it's even showing. Oh, my fault, y'all. I'm still getting used to StreamYard. Let me get off of this. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it's a big area. It's a nice area with a stage rental. Trying to find more space to show you guys. Yeah, like I said, as you can see, like right here is pretty big and stuff like that. It's one big court with a lot of space, so a lot of people can walk around. They can sell their gear, they can sell their merch, they can do a whole bunch of things, and I'm excited about that because with like I said, with here goes like a good example of the main area and everything like that. So like with Gene, it was only like a small locker room, and then most of the time the guys didn't have a time to conversate, didn't really have an official locker room. So now we have multiple locker rooms here. So I'm truly excited for that. But going back into it, let's talk about the topic of the day. The topic is, when is copying and or imitating in wrestling acceptable and when it's not? Let's talk about it. Now, with wrestling or with anything in life, they say that imitation is the biggest form of flattery. Something close to that. It's one of those things. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things, right? So with wrestling, many of us try so hard to do our own thing, to try to have our own thing, something that'll make us money and stuff like that. And sometimes we actually are very successful with it. What's going on, Chris? Shout out to you, man. We're very successful with it. And the thing with success is that sometimes people will emulate success. I mean, look at Famous Amos, for example. Famous Amos was owned by a black dude, Willie Amos, and he was doing cookies. He was king of the cookie game and stuff like that. He was doing very good, making a lot of money off of it. Bad thing about that was he trusted a lot of people with his business, and unfortunately, people took all his money. Took his name, took everything. He tried to do his own cookies again, and he wasn't that successful and stuff like that. So that's kind of the thing with wrestling and even in life, to where if you do something and you find something and it's very popular, you're very successful, somebody's going to imitate. Now, that is a bad and a good thing, because sometimes, let's be honest, with wrestling, a lot of things aren't original these days. But even if you are going to copy, or if you're going to take some things from somebody, make it your own. You have to make it your own. If you don't make it your own, people are going to call it what it is. You see a lot of cutters, some will call it, we're just saying just straight stunner, or we're saying the RKO, the ace crusher, whatever like that. You see a lot of handspring cutters, you see a lot of cutters, you see a lot of springboard, you just see cutters. Now, I usually just call them RKOs. And then if it's the gut kick with the sit down face lock, I call it the stunner or whatever like that. It could be a different name. Yep, BB. You can call it a different name or whatever like that, but you call it is what it is. And my thing is, if you are going to do a wrestling move that is very similar. Beep beep. That is very similar to a established superstar, or if the move is established, what can you make it different? What can you do to make it different? What can you do to make it your own? And I think that a lot of people don't do it. Cutters are so famous now. Power drivers are so famous now. Super kicks and stuff. Some things are so much overused, and it's just like there are millions of moves that you can do that is as impactful as a super kick or anything like that. So it's like with finishers, right? I always thought that what my finisher was, it was going to be something that a lot of people don't do, or if they do it, they're going to tweak it. So, sorry, I kissed my baby. So, what my finisher is, it's called the we call it the Southern Classic, but I think I'm gonna call it the Classic Driver. I don't have a video of it right now. I might do it later, but I do have a video of. It was actually a guy in Japan who I got inspired from. Like I always thought about, well, what if I did this as a finisher, and then I ripped the leg as a the pin. That's what made my finisher to me different, because everybody else would sit out with it. I forgot the guy from Japan who was the originator of the first samurai driver, but I do have a video of a guy who did it similar to what he did. I forgot the guy's name who was the originator, but when I saw this, it made me excited because it made the move that I want to do possible. I was like, okay, I can do this. Hold on, mama. I'm gonna rewind it. I'm gonna go to the front. So this was just another video of somebody else who uses it as a finisher or whatever like that. But it was like I said, it was a guy from Japan. He did it, and what I do is I go forward as if it was a running power slam, and then I hook the leg for a finisher. I was pressed for time, and I actually wanted to do everything on time today, so I didn't exactly show what my finisher is. I'll show it later or whatever like that. But going back into professional wrestling and stuff like that, it is hard to make your own stride and do your own path sometimes, because a lot of people do the same things. A lot of people dress the same way. A lot of people wrestle the same way. But I've always been like, what can you do different from everybody else? What can you do that'll make it stick to the fans' ribs to where people want to see it again? Okay, you have cutters. So some people were doing regular RKOs, and then some people were doing springboards, and then some people were doing handspring cutters and stuff like that. But then now it's the oversaturations of cutters. So nowadays you don't know if the finish, if it's even the finish or if it's a setup for the finish. You know, what's the difference if Randy Orton does his RKO cutter and it's the finisher, then Cody, who's jumping from the second to the top to do a back cutter? Or like, what's the difference? Like, I've seen other wrestlers use it as a finisher and stuff like that, and it's like, I'm sure it's easy for them to pull off, but what are you going to do different or whatever like that? I'm not saying that it's like a form of imitation, but one of the main things in professional wrestling about your finisher is that it should be able to do it on everybody. So when you think of a cutter, or you think of a stunner, or you think of something, a clothesline, that's a move that everybody can do. Now, I can understand that as well, but Jesus Christ, how many cutters are we going to see in a match? How many cutters are we going to see during the show? What makes your cutter different? If my finisher was a cutter and I go somewhere and I've saw 5 cutters already, I'm not doing cutters. I'm not. Because I can try to do it different from everybody else, but other than that, it's all the same thing. And that's no shade to anybody that do cutters or anything like that. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Make it your own. So that was one aspect on imitation and even copying, because sometimes it's unintentional. Sometimes that's just a move that people learn first and they're new, and that's what they use because that's what they're taught. So that's like one loophole or whatever. Taka Michinoku. It was somebody else. It was a little bit different than the Michinoku driver. It was somebody else. It was a little bit different from the Michinoku driver. I know who you're talking about, but it was different. Jamie, shout out to you. Let's talk about characters. Now, this is funny to me because a lot of people say that this group, the House of Pan. I mean the House of Black. I'm sorry. They dressing like Pan and Baal and all of that demonic stuff. With Malachi Black and then Malachi Black Triple XL, aka Brody King, and then Buddy Matthews or whatever like that. They were first. They they cut the light off so Judgment Day can cut the light back on. Now this is Edge, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest. But now, as of now, Edge is out and Balor is in, and then a lot of people are in an uproar because they're wrestling on main event now. So um, with these two groups, a lot of people say that they have a lot in common, and they do, with the mysterious demonic presence of the stuff and with the lighting and everything like that. They have a lot of stuff or whatever like that. But it's like the thing is one doing it better than the other? That's always a question with even wrestling, not even just on the main stage, even on the independent stage. What is somebody doing better? Is the copy doing better than the original? It's not like they have like rights or ownerships to these characters or whatever like that. With WWE, they low key try to tell people what to do with a character, and then AEW they have more freedom. Well, a lot of us know that they have more freedom. Now, some guys are successful with that freedom and some are not. I'm not really that big on House of Black, with the Malachi thing. I just think that they're trying, especially with Malachi, formerly known as Alistair, they're like continuing the storyline that happened at the previous job he was at or whatever like that. And I thought it was going to be like a shift to like the trios title, and I'll be like, okay, I'm all for it. But then I feel like they lost their luster, and I think that's also going even to Edge and Judgment Day. He didn't want to do supernatural stuff, and that's kind of like what Malachi and the House of Black do. And it's like the lights go off, you either get excited or you know who it is. But then again, everybody named Mama, when the lights go off, a debut happens. It's not even just exclusive to the House of Black. Everybody has the lights cut off and cut on. Satnam Singh, when he came, they cut the lights off and then he showed up, and other wrestlers and stuff like that. So it's like it's not exclusive to the House of Black or anything like that. Like I said, I could see the similarities in it. I could see the differences in it and stuff like that. I thought it was interesting with Judgment Day with Edge, and then it was like, what the heck is happening now? Balor is a part of it, but at the end of the day, it had people talking. A lot of us was waiting for Julia Hart to be in the House of Black, and then she finally did. I low-key forgot about it, so that was like the best part of the match at Double or Nothing, because you guys know how I feel about Double or Nothing. But going back into it, people copy characters a lot. People imitate characters a lot. People imitate characters that are in pop culture as well. Superheroes, comic books, movies, video games. People mimic a lot of stuff, but the thing is, you have to make it look like your own. Okay, you making a tribute, that's fine, but what can you do? What can you do different? What can make it stick to you? For example, one of the most popular shows that people emulate is Dragon Ball Z. You see, I believe her name was Shanna. She was in AEW for a little bit. Shanna, Rhea Ripley, it's somebody else too. Like, you have people that will get gear like Saiyan armor and stuff like that, or they'll look like Goku. And people do that because it's a tribute, or some of us wanted to be a Super Saiyan, and now we got a chance to be a Super Saiyan or a Namekian or whatever you want to be and stuff like that. So you can look at their gear and you can see how inspired they got with things and stuff like that. Like, you see the Goku, or you see the Saiyan armor. A lot of people, they have gear or had gear that had Saiyan armor or whatever like that, because Vegeta was like the badass or whatever like that, and people wanted to wear similar things to Goku. Vegeta or anything like that. So a lot of people were wearing this and stuff like that because it was just a popular thing to do, and fans know who wears this and who reps this and stuff. Now, I'm not saying this shirt in particular, but I'm saying like custom gear and stuff like that. Even Black Panther, how they were saying Michael B. Jordan was inspired by Vegeta. That's why his gear, his costume looked the way it did and stuff like that. The thing is, most of the time with wrestlers, sometimes that stuff don't last long. Like we'll just wear it for a little bit, wear it for a few, and then we'll get something new or whatever like that. Sometimes it's incorporated in characters. I've seen it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work because then it goes from being wrestling based to kind of being a parody of what they're looking at. Now you have forms of wrestling that does do parody and stuff like that. We don't do that here. Jamie says the perfect example is NWO and DX. Difference is Triple H and HBK made it their own with that attitude. They made it different from NWO. Yeah, with the NWO, that's actually a good one too as well. The NWO, they like kind of overran its course, right? Because they let everybody and their mama be a part of the NWO. And that was always an issue because no shade to anybody that was in it. Scott Norton, Vincent, Stevie Ray, the Renegade, who was like the knockoff warrior and stuff like that. Like a lot of people did not need to be in the NWO, but I understand. You wanted job security. You wanted to be talked about. You didn't want to be fired and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it didn't do much for the group. And then the group broke off to NWO Wolfpack. And I liked Wolfpack when I was a kid, but now I look at it, I'm like, man, this is just so watered down. And NWO 2000 and stuff like that. With DX had their many reincarnations, but it was only what, 4 or 5 guys and a woman that were doing something and causing ruckus and stuff like that. It wasn't like the whole locker room. They were doing the NWO versus WCW thing. Now, looking back at it, if I was the booker at the time, I would only have like some of the top stars and a few new guys be part of the NWO, and the whole locker room is intimidated by them. I wouldn't have had everybody be a part of it. So, but that's what made it different. A lot of people still talk about NWO, still rock the shirts. A lot of people still talk about DX and rock the shirts as well. But going back to characters and stuff like that, I've always been baffled when somebody would be a character that they didn't own the rights to, like a DBZ or Marvel and stuff like that, and be upset when somebody else who probably was inspired by the same superhero wear similar gear or whatever like that. It's a possibility that they don't even know that you're wearing this kind of gear or whatever like that. People want to wear stuff. People want to wear tribute. Sometimes people do want to feel like a superhero. I mean, look at my gear, for example, but my gear was inspired by this baby so loud. My gear, sorry about that, y'all. I'm gonna send you upstairs. You gotta be quiet, okay, mama? Thank you. Give me 5. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. But many, like for me, my gear was inspired with the flap. I liked Pentagon Junior's little flap thing in the front. I forgot the name of it. But then I also liked War Greymon and Digimon, right? The orange one or whatever. That's why I had the gold, white, and black gear. That's why it was part of the gear at first, was that. So that's one of the reasons why I had my gear sort of like that, and then I would tweak it over time and stuff like that, and it worked and stuff like that. But like with characters, like I said, we work hard. A lot of wrestlers work hard to be different and stand out from other people and stuff like that. And sometimes it do sucks when somebody has a similar gimmick or a similar character and stuff like that. Sometimes it's a copy, sometimes it's not. If you're saying you want to be a superhero, they got a lot of wrestlers that try to be superheroes and stuff like that. Then it's a difference when it comes to color schemes and all of that stuff. I'm gonna take care of that. But with that being said, sometimes people take offense to it because people do work hard with these kind of things to be different, but sometimes it makes us all the same at the end of the day. Rey Mysterio is the best at it about wearing gear for only special occasions, and then that's a good one because it's like even then, like luchadors alone are considered heroes in Mexico, but he did the Flash, Captain America, Joker, Avatar. Uh, I said the Flash. Did I say the Flash? I don't know if I said the Flash. His old gear, like he's done a lot of stuff, tributes to Eddie Guerrero and Art Barr. He's done a lot of things that are very good tributes and stuff like that. But as far as like character wise and stuff like that, it's difficult because some things are done and some things are done before, but you have to make your staple on it. You know, a lot of people can compare, right and rightfully so, Wendy Chu, I think that's her name, Wendy Chu, to like Orange Cassidy, because Orange Cassidy is like a chillax character, and she's kind of chillax that time and act like she sleep or has anything like that. I mean, she comes out with pajamas, he has jean pants. So, but even then, I definitely see the comparisons in both of them, or whatever like that. Well, is WWE trying to bite Orange Cassidy? Possibly. You know, is she popular? Yes. Is Orange Cassidy popular? Yes. Orange Cassidy still has some of the most popular videos on AEW YouTube channel, and that's a fact. So regardless how people feel about him or whatever like that, AEW is going to keep him around because he gets them millions of views. I don't want to say every time, but a lot of times he wrestles and stuff like that. But going into wrestling, sometimes you can see like a blatant ripoff with certain people, you know, and sometimes it works for them. You know, for example, I don't know if you guys know, but there was a hurt my toe. There was a guy named the Nature Boy Paul Lee. Uh I believe he still wrestles. I did know that he tried to run for politics or whatever like that, but he would say he was the Nature Boy, he was the new Nature Boy and stuff like that. And I remember a lot of Facebook pages, because I was big on Facebooks at the time. They were upset with him because they were saying like, you know, you're a knockoff of the Nature Boy, and who was also a knockoff of Buddy Rogers. But they were saying that he didn't make it himself. You know, you're doing something that, you know, and Ric Flair was still alive and kicking at the time, but a lot of people were upset with him because they were like, "Well, dude, you're definitely doing something. Like, you're definitely mocking somebody or whatever." So what did he do? He didn't care about that. He wound up spending a lot of money to have. He wound up spending a lot of money to have Ric Flair give him a NWA championship belt and stuff like that. Hey, if you can do that, you can do that. But he's only one of two of. Stop! Don't do that. Don't do that. He's only one example, one of two examples I have. Like, I don't want to say just straight blatant ripoff, but he wrestled like him. He do promos like him. He do a lot of things like Ric Flair. And I remember there was a trash bag show, trash bag wrestling channel. They used to talk about him a lot because of his promos and stuff like that. And like I said, you know, this was his bread and butter. I think he still gets booked. And I'm not here to not to tell you not to book him, because that's your choice, or whoever y'all want to book or whatever like that, because we are trying to make it. I wouldn't do it like this though. But he's one example of he's one example of how he copied somebody who copied somebody, but he's trying to make it his own with calling himself the Nature Boy Paul Lee. So he was a big dude. This one is funny to me because I remember posting about it. Now, this is an African American who's dressed like the Undertaker. Now, when he first started, he was not. He's called the Soul Taker now. But when he first started, he was not called the Soul Taker. He was called the N-word Taker. Now, you guys know what the N-word is. I don't have to spell it. I don't have to say anything like that. But this dude still, I believe he's still getting booked too. But this was on flyers, and a lot of people would cancel the show, or they take him off the flyer because of his name, the N-word Taker. And I'm not joking. Like, you would think I was joking. I'm not joking. And Undertaker is one of my favorite wrestlers, right? But I'm for sure not going to call myself the taker of anything. And then I'm definitely not going to put the N-word in front of my name as well, especially if I don't want certain people to call me that or go by that name. But legit, this was a dude that was getting booked a lot. I don't know if he's still getting booked or not, but his name was the N-word Taker. But now he goes by the Soul Taker, and it's just like, okay, if you're gonna do something like that, that's fine now because you're the Soul Taker or whatever like that. But you gotta be careful about what you call yourself and what you try to do and stuff like that. That was two examples of people who are like, I want to say blatant ripoffs, but let's just call it what it is. Okay, so this belt Mid-South North American Wrestling Championship. This is one of my favorite. We're going in belts now because I'm not going to be here long, but this is one of my favorite looking belts, right? I just liked the big plates on the side, the two plates on each side. I liked the circle aspect of it, all four of them, and then I like the part in the middle. I like this. I like this belt or whatever like that. Very popular belt, even on the independent scene. So I liked it so much that this was the C3. This is the C3 Ultimate Wrestling belt. I'm sorry that it's so shiny. It's bling blinging and stuff like that. But basically, it's a lot larger. It's a lot shinier, and it has C3 Wrestling Champion on the front. It's a huge belt. Our champion is Miles Mercer right now at the time. The circles are a lot bigger and everything like that. I was a tribute to that belt, but I also liked how the belt looked, and I also felt like heavyweight championship belts, or not even heavyweight championship belts, actually, top championships should be big. It should be belts that even the fans should want or whatever like that. So I was happy to choose this belt as the official belt for C3 Wrestling. I did know that there were a few other independent shows and companies. They had a similar belt, if not the same belt, but a different color and a different size. Yeah, Jamie, yeah, Ric Flair, yeah, because of Buddy Rogers, I brought that up. Yeah, Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers. But even with my belt, I felt like mine was the best looking. And I'm just saying it because I bought it and paid so much money for it. I just felt that it was just a lot better. It seemed like a main event belt. So then when I'm watching AEW and then they changed their belt, the women's belt, to this, I'm like, oh, okay. You know, I don't think that they like looked at what I did and said we're gonna take a belt, because like I said, it still was a popular belt. A lot of people still like how their belt looks to this day. So then I was like, okay, well, they had this belt or whatever like that. It looks nice and stuff like that, you know. And a lot of people are very vocal on AEW with comedy and how they take gimmicks and stuff like that. But anyway, so I was like, all right, cool. This is a nice looking belt. It looked definitely a lot better than the engagement ring that they were wearing, the women wrestlers were wearing, because I didn't like that belt. That belt didn't look that great. It didn't look like a belt that people would want to fight for. So then they dropped the this lady, the All Atlantic belt. And I'm like, well, dang, it's like the same belt. It's like, to me, it's like the same belt, except they just changed some of the logos and stuff like that. And it's just, all right, man, this made me want to dang near get another belt. Because it's the same to me. It looks the same compared to this belt, except a few things are the size of it, the circles and everything like that. But like I said, it just reminds me of the belt that I chose. But like I said, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I know that I know. Oh, I'm sorry, I got a text message. I'm not gonna sit here and be like I was the first with this to copy the Mid-South, because I wasn't, you know. But when you see the major companies and stuff like that do it, it's just like, oh, come on, man, come on, man. But even going back to characters and even like move sets and stuff like that, right? Sometimes things, when you do imitate and when you do copy stuff, sometimes it's good to see, and then sometimes you get tired of it. And honestly, one thing I'm going to say is the on Heart tournament, right? I thought a lot of the matches were good, but then some of the stuff was repetitive because a lot of people were giving tributes to Owen. And I do know that Owen has inspired a lot of people and still inspires people to this day. But then it was just like, all right, we saw Dax and we saw Cash. They do the roll-up spot that Brett and Owen did. And then in the finals, Britt Baker and Ruby Soho did the same thing. And it's just like, all right, y'all did the same tribute in the same company in one-on-one matches. And it was just like, okay, I didn't want to say it was less special for Britt or whatever like that, because a lot of people were dressed up in the colors of pink, white, and black for Owen and stuff like that. And it's cool. All right, cool with tributes and stuff like that. But it was just like, man, and a lot of people were very vocal. A lot of people were very vocal on her finish because we saw the finish. CM Punk's matches, right? A lot of people that study the game now. A lot of people will look at a match and be like, okay, well, you got this from there. So a lot of people were comparing like Punk's previous matches to other matches that he was inspired by. Now, Um, as a wrestler, we do things that we study stuff and we do work on stuff, but we got to make it our own. If you make it your own, sometimes people will find out. Stop, mama. Sometimes people do find out, and sometimes people will just admire it. But like even with the Owen Hart tournament, it was a lot of things that a lot of people were doing, and I felt that it was slightly repetitive. But I totally understood. Uh, Sometimes people who do who are looking for characters, sometimes people do look at the independent scene and they'll take a character and run with it. Miro was called himself the final boss at one point, and then I knew my homie, the dude who I'm gonna have to beat up July 30th, Cassidy Keith, he was calling himself the final boss way longer. Or somebody, I forgot his name, he was saying he had like the idea of what Seth Rollins was doing at one point. Now I'm not gonna sit here with that person because I don't know that person to say he was right or they were wrong or whatever like that. But I wouldn't put it surprise. Like people are trying to do things to be different and to stand out and stuff like that. You know, even with wrestlers, like even with the black aspect of it, like look at Braun Strowman talking about get these hands and stuff like that. You know, somebody else could have ran with that and probably made some money off of it. Or even John Cena rapping and stuff, and you can't see me and stuff like that. If John could make money off of that, our truth definitely could have did something with that, and he should have beat John Cena at Capital Punishment. But we ain't gonna talk about that. So before I head out, I want to talk about some things that I was. I'm still am. I'm a big Macho Man fan, right? So when one of my second and third pair, second, third, and fourth pair of gear, this was me in different colors. Hopefully, if you guys could look at it as my daughter's giving me tails to hold. I am right under the R with the zebra print. Hold on, mama. With the zebra print and the ski goggles. Like I was still am. I'm a big fan of Macho Man and stuff like that. So I bought the DVD when it came out, and I would study that DVD and stuff like that. At one point, I was doing elbow drops off the top rope. I miss doing that. I'm definitely gonna practice that more often and stuff like that. But I was a big Macho Man fan. The funny thing was, the reason why I stopped wearing it was because somebody said I was trying to be like the Macho Man, and I was like, oh man, nah, it's definitely time to get some new gear because stop, mama. That's number two. They said I was trying to be like the Macho Man or whatever like that. Shoot, I still got I got the goggles right now. Like this is still on the ground. Like I legit was like wearing this for promo pictures and wrestling and stuff like that. I was legit doing that. And then I won when somebody said something, I low-key did get sick of it. So Dada. Yes, Dada. Yes, mama. Yes, mama. So some of us do it. Some of us look at wrestlers and some of us emulate the wrestlers. Some of us emulate move sets, the beginning of the stuff, how they chain, how they wrestle. That stuff happens. Sometimes it's tribute. Sometimes it's the best way we can perform. And then you also have some people that just turn around and just do what everybody want to do. Like just because it's making money, people are just like, okay, well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to copy this person and make more money and stuff like that. You know, screw you and stuff. It happens and it does suck. But you do have to move on and you do have to try your own thing because unfortunately, a lot of us can't have copyright on a lot of these things and a lot of the stuff that we work out hard on, regardless of how much money, how much time, how much promo work we did, film work, mic work, it don't matter. So we always got to make sure that we do our own thing. But it is definitely difficult because a lot of people are doing a lot of things. So, but it is possible. I just want you guys to remember that it is very, very possible. You know, sometimes imitation is a form of flattery. Sometimes it's a form of robbery as well. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you should be happy that somebody wants to wrestle like you and have your first and last name. But at the end of the day, nothing's really new under the sun. So, it's 100% fact. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this real quick. I might hop on Chris's podcast or I might message. But hey, mama, say bye bye. Say bye bye. Say bye bye. Blow him a kiss. Blow him a kiss. There you go. All right. So like I said, before I head on out, we got a Runaway Train, July 23rd, Appleton, Wisconsin, at the American Legion. Doors open at 4. Show starts at 5. You do not want to miss that. We also have, I have to finalize the flyer, but Kingdom Come is back. Kingdom Come is back July 30th, 2022 at On the Square Sports Academy. Doors open at 7, showtime at 7:30. Tickets are 10 for adults, 5 for kids. You can buy tickets at the door or you can do Eventbrite. Also, make sure you get your parties lined up. Call me, contact me, email me, do whatever you need to do. Let's have a good summer. I'm going to have a good summer. I hope you guys have a good summer as well. So, with that being said, I'm going to head out. I hope you guys have a great evening. We want to say bye bye one more time. Say bye bye. Bye bye. Yeah. All right, y'all. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.